come out here and warn our people. Like, I can pull you up a scripture. Can I do that? Can I pull you up a scripture right quick?
Well,
give one scripture based on what you just asked me.
Well, we can talk about that, man. Because I'm gonna have a question anyway. When you start say something, I'm gonna say something. Then I won't get because this one only take a second for me to talk to these people right here. So let me get the number.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. It's Isaiah 31. Isaiah 31, starting at verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, those are vehicles.
Isaiah 31. Isaiah 31
verse 1. He say, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. So, going to, depending on, Egypt just means the government. And in these days and times, it's speaking about the so-called American government. People that go down to Egypt for help, they depend on the president to make things better for them. We've seen that during the time of Obama. The only thing that got better, or the people that got better for, was the people that, we call them the rainbow people or whatever. At the same time, when Obama was in office, all the so-called minorities, which were not minority, the so-called minorities were getting shot left and right, and there was no, real so-called justice for them. So yeah, that's why the Lord say, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many. And in horsemen, meaning the government, the soldiers and everything like that, you trust in the government, the American system, the Navy and the Army. I see you got a Navy thing around you. I got uncles and everything that's in the service and everything. Because they are very strong. We depend on, not we, but a lot of people depend on the police system. They depend on the police system to protect them.
Hello, man. How you doing? How you?
Sorry, I'm in a hurry.
You're in your hurry. I see that. You too. Yeah, let me.
But this is the point that you can get back to your job.
Yeah, because I won't concentrate.
I heard.
Yeah. But I will call you. We talk, man.
Okay, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Most of our people would rather trust in the Army and the American system, the food stamps. And nothing's wrong with food stamps.
I trust the man.
I'm telling you, that's where it starts.
Yeah. No, I don't trust no man. I trust the man upstairs.
Yeah, but we were taught, we were lied to about his name and everything. His name. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's bring it out. Slakia family. Your servant Shemaiah. I was in a rush kind of, I wanted to get out here before it started raining. But I just seen, it's going to be raining about another hour. Probably a half hour now. And I forgot my glasses. Got my, the name of Yahweh Shema Shah. But we're going to get it going though, regardless. First, before we start, let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Pakadash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone. Yeah, I just had a gentleman come up to me, so-called Christian and everything like that. He working, he got a job to do like we all got a job to do. Come out to prophesy, the downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great, and to let our people of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians know they are the children of Israel. We go back before slavery to a people that were royal. Okay? We are a royal people. But because we went off from the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, we have been put on the bottom. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. Now, if I'm going to jump up, I'm going to go to verse, I'm going to start at verse 1. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, whose name is Yahweh, meaning he is. If we hearken, which means to listen, hear the word of the Lord, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. All right? That was our original state before we came into slavery. Before we went into slavery, we were on top of the world. We were supposed to be. That was the original state of Israel. You know, and we got a glimpse of that for 40 years during the time of Solomon. I thought he was going to send a guard dog. You know how she has a guard dog. But back to Deuteronomy. How you doing, sir? You know you might be an Israelite. If you're an Israelite, you have a chance to repent before the destruction of America, aka Babylon the Great. We were on top during the time of Solomon, 40 years, ruling in righteousness. But what did Solomon ask the Lord for? He could have asked him for women. He could have asked him for gold, for anything in the world. He could have asked the Lord for, and it would have been given him. But the main thing that Solomon asked for, which I'm going to get it because the words are powerful. Let me get it. He asked for wisdom, though. That's what he asked for. To rule. Let's see. Righteously. That's the same thing that we're acquiring in these days and time. We know, okay, the only way that America is in such her power position she's in, you know, by the hand of the white man, aka Esau Edom, you know, is through war. That was his blessing. You know, but we have a blessing as well, and it's in the spirit. A spiritual blessing. Right? And this is Chronicles chapter 2 Chronicles this is 2 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 10. Give me now wisdom and knowledge that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this people, this thy people that is so great? Okay? So that's what he got, that's what he wanted, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how to rule righteously. I'm going to go to verse 11. And God, the Most High, said to Solomon, because this was in thy heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thine enemies, neither hast thou asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou may judge my people, over whom I have made thee king. Okay? And that's the point. And we're coming to that. The Lord is opening up the eyes of the men out here on the highways and hedges to let them to get this knowledge, this wisdom, and this understanding. You know, being watchmen, seeing what's coming in, and warning our people, so the blood won't be on our hands anymore. You know, so a lot of people out here walk around believing in the philosophies, the theories of men, and they're lost. That's why Yahweh had told his disciples that turned to apostles to go out and you know, seek the lost house of Israel. You know, and that's what he told the people. He said, you know, I come only for the house of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know, because we've been subject to these other heathen nations, pursuing let me get it. Like in Deuteronomy. Because in the kingdom to come, the Lord is going to have men ruling righteously under himself. All right, the tabernacle of David. You know, the 144,000 that's sighing and crying for the abominations of this world. You know, because we can't stand this rulership. You know, it's two different kingdoms. We're in one kingdom right now that's passing away. The fashion of this world is passing away, and then we're going to enter into a kingdom of righteousness, the world of Israel, and it's simultaneously happening at the same time. This is the denouement, or the climax of the whole story that we're witnessing right now before us. I'm back in Deuteronomy. And I want to jump down to verse 13. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only. You so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, you're a child of Israel. God is dope. God is dope. That's the mindset. Well, you know, it's a play on words. But, you know, back in the 80s, dope was just something that was cool. Right? But this is the mindset of our people. He woke up this morning on purpose to put a shirt on that says God is dope. But he don't have time to listen to the word. Once again, Deuteronomy 28:13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken, listen, hear unto the commandments of the Lord thy power, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. Right? And since we've been so far gone, we understand now we didn't do that. We didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We went off after the other nations, doing what other nations were doing, you know, which primarily most of it was going against the Lord. You know, adultery, worshiping false gods, false idols, you know, statues of things that don't live. You know, then we start getting to the customs of the other heathen nations. You know, adultery, sodomy, you know, and enchantments, you know, witchcraft. And to this day, we're stuck in that same mind state. A lot of our people are still stuck in that same mind state. But in these days of time, Yahweh Shem Shai has put his spirit on the earth. So people have visions, dreams. Men and women have visions and dreams. And you have the prophets out here warning our people, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, you're a child of Israel. And the Lord's commanded us to return back to him before he destroys America, aka Babylon the Great, with nuclear fire. Okay? But we're the head originally. But because we went off, now we're in the lower state. Now we're here on the bottom, serving our sentence. And the remnant of Israel is going to be rescued. Only elect. This is not for everybody. Even of Israel. Okay? Man, with a yellow wig on their head. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be PG right quick. I'm gonna go to Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. It's like verse 6. Chapter 6, verse 7 in Galatians. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You know, that's going into men. All of us, man. Whatever you reap, you're gonna sow. Whatever you sow, you're gonna reap. Whatever you plant, you're gonna reap. And that's how America, aka Babylon the Great, is going down. That's how America is going down. Because of all the things that they sown in the earth. Esau, Edom. All right? Esau, Edom. Let's see how y'all doing. Esau, Edom is the wicked of the earth. All right? This is Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Like, okay, for instance, we're here in America, right? Before America, this was known as something totally different. You know, it was not known as America until Americo Vespucci came over here and conquered and destroyed the so-called Native American Indians out of this place. You know, through Christopher Columbus. You know, and then the same thing with Africa. Africa, the land of Canaan, was known as well. You know, it was the land of Canaan. You know, you had the Hamites. You know, his 4 sons. You know, from Mizraim to Canaan. And then, you know, the other 2 Slaki right now, they skip my mind right now. Cush. And they, when the conquerors went over there to Africa, so-called Africa, it was Mizraim, I believe, at first. But they named it into Africa after Leo Scipio Africanus. All right? These are basic building bricks, you know? But that's what, how you doing? That's what the white man's done. All right? Once again, Psalm 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right? And that was an example. You know? And with that, going over conquering land after land with their weapons. Let's get it. We're going to Genesis chapter 27. And I'm going to start at verse 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. But that was a lie. See, he was lying back then. He did not take it away from you. You gave it to him for some raw meat, Esau Edom, which still is an indicator of who you are today, because you love to go, when you go out, you know, to the restaurant, you like to eat raw meat, right? So you lying. You saying that he took it away from you. You gave your blessing to Jacob, right? Pursuing Genesis 25. Genesis chapter 25, right? Back again in Genesis 27. starting, going back down to verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept and cried. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of the heaven from above. And that's what he has right now. He controls everything. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, controls your food, your resources, controls the military, controls your transportation system, your airplanes, your buses. You're being taxed by this man, right? You're subject to this man. You know, that's how you know who Esau Edom is in these last days and time. Right? Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. Okay? So his blessing is the sword, which he has been conquering throughout the whole world with his military might. You know, armies, navies, Navy SEALs, you know, Marines. This is how he got his power. And that was his blessing. So he felt like, you know, should I get that? They thought they were all together. You know, because they got the power. You know, they got we were given into their hands. You know, there's no yep, there we go. We were given into their hands because we went off. The Lord had turned his face from us because we wanted to be like the other heathen nations. We didn't want to continue to have faith and trust in our Lord. Just like nowadays, people trust in Egypt, you know, which is the head of a system, the government, this American system, which came about through robbery, thievery, deception, and war. This is Psalms 50 and verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Okay, because he like I said, you know, because the Lord doesn't exact judgment expediently. You know, roughly paraphrasing, people continue on in their sins over and over and over again. You know, but for the heathens and for Esau Edom, he's waiting for their sin to come to a full length. You know, so their judgment, there's going to be no question why they're getting taken out. And after 1,000 years of slavery, and fixing up everything that they destroyed here on the earth, they're going to be literally destroyed. No more Edomites walking in the earth. Again, Psalms 50 and 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Robbery, murder. See, he touched the apple of the Lord's eye. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. The Lord put you on a ship, whooped your ass, raped your women, tortured you, and they raped the men too. All right? And the Lord kept silent. And the Lord kept silent. So they thought it was okay. They thought that, okay, he must be working with us, right? Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Okay? See, they thought that they was on the right path. They thought they was doing the right thing. You know, according to the Lord, well, according to themselves, to their own heart, their own foolish pride. You know, yeah, we were supposed to go into slavery, into captivity. Yeah, we were supposed to be made at the bottom, but they overdid it. They overdid it systematically. They took Psalm 83. They took our heritage away from us, so that the name of Israel be no more in the land. Now you have everybody walking around confused, not knowing who they are. But Lord got a trick for them as well, though. Back to Israel, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Speaking about our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, Western Indians, Haitians, we rebelled against the Lord. And that's what God says. It's not because we wasn't strong enough. It's not because we were outnumbered or we were what you gonna say? That we were that the other nations were smarter than us. It's simply because we lost our power. We lost our connection to Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. But that time is coming when we will be back on top. Starting with the whole collective Israel. Starting at Yahweh Shah, Shalaki Yahweh Shah, and the tabernacle of King David, the 144,000, and the 1/3 of Israel. Lord, want to be a part of that number. Verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know. My people do not consider. Our people have been so destroyed mentally with all this pollution. Our people don't even consider who they are or who their power is anymore. Right? Oh, she's talking Esau. All right? Our people don't consider. They want to come out here. They want to participate in unholy days. They want to participate in being a Christian or Muslim. Participate in being whatever kind of sexual preference, whatever pronoun. This guy bugging out. Whatever pronoun or whatever they want to be. They want to you have to popping firecrackers. That's another thing, another way that you know that this profession in this world is going out. Okay, I did in my video the other day, I mentioned it, how on the 4th, there wasn't that many fireworks going on. You had some fireworks, some guns going off, but the times are changing. This world is on its way out, and the world of Israel is coming. Surely enough. Surely enough. You see what's going on in the world with Russia, with all the other nations coming up against America. And people are tired of it, man. The truth is coming out, and people are spending more of their time concerned on how they're going to get ready for the end. Not everyone, but not everyone, but some of the people. Like you have shows out there where they tell you about the end of the world and preparation shows and how to build a fire, how to restore water, how to make water clean, all these things, because some people's eyes are open. And you'll be easier, or it'll be faster for you to let Esau know, the Edomites know, and they're catching on to it quicker than a lot of so-called Negroes. Let's go back to what we just read, how my people do not consider. And there's nothing you can do carnally that's going to save you out of this Jacob's trouble. Out of time to come, there's nothing you can do to save you. Carnally. Your guns is not going to help you. All right? Your vehicles is not going to help you. It don't matter how bad you fortify your home with security defense systems and all that. None of that's going to help you. America, Egypt, the police system is not going to help you. The army is not going to help you. They're gonna be worried about helping their own families when the insurrection comes. And no one is gonna notice it or see it until all the lights go out. When the lights go out, then people are gonna be hearkening. Then they're gonna be listening. Then they're gonna be wondering, oh wow, this is what I heard. This is what I saw on TV when I was watching YouTube, skimming through. This is what they were talking about. But at that time, it's not gonna be a word. It's not gonna be nothing to be said at that time. And you don't know that you're going up against a vicious adversary, man. You're going up against a vicious adversary. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right? John Wick, as they say at camp. John Wick, taking people out left and right. That's what their job is. That's what they do. A lot of our people don't know that. They don't know how sick and demented these people are and were in the past. And you think just because they give you government assistance, or they give you a stimulus check, or they give you a job, that you in good standing with them. Most of the time, the only time they're going to give you benefits or help you out is if you kiss their ass. That's the only way, which a lot of our people are good at doing, bowing down and kissing ass. But these days and time, the Lord is raising up men and women, you know, to see what's going on. But primarily the men to stand up. As it's written, he said, who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? You know? And we got a better weapon than a gun, grenades, bombs. We have this word. I'm gonna sneeze, excuse me, y'all. We have this word, the truth. All right? Because we care less about the flesh. We're out here to save the spirit of those that the Lord allowed to wake up in these days and time. You know? You have to come out of this world, as the Lord said. Let's see. The wickedness of Esau Edom. You know? Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of unrighteousness or uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord Yahweh Bashir in the land of uprightness. You know, over there in Israel right now, in the land of Israel right now, they're having a pride parade, right? Out of that land comes all manner of wickedness. They're bombing Palestine. You know? Esau Edom. That's on the outside though. I don't know. I don't know. But about to stab somebody. Yeah. Once again, let favor be shown to the wicked. Like he has all this. He has all this. You know. He run the world. You know. They go jet setting, you know. They could be on one part of the country and then the next part of the country within hours. They sit back eating caviar, whatever. You know. They get the best meat. You know, real fresh meat to eat. While they give you food, you have to put in your freezer, you know, to the point where you get frostbit, and then it's no good. You know, or they set up these fast food restaurants, so because they want you to be on a quicker time. Hurry up, get to work, bustle. You gotta hustle and bustle, constantly get your money. So they got fast food places you can jump in and jump out and get back to work, and that's what it's all about. They make no account of the labor. Let me get that. They make no account of our labors. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. And that's what we're doing right now in the highways and hedges. Boldly standing in righteousness before our enemies, those that oppressed us. All you want to do is hustle, 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 hustle. Work, 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 work. You know? You really have enough time to wind down, to stand with your family. And you want to stay here? You want to stay on Egypt? You want to constantly continue to build up their legacy? And 2/3 of our people are going to say, yeah. You know, 2/3 of our people that's been serving Esau Edom through the military, they've been serving Esau Edom through, like I said, the military, or through the banking industries, through the court system. They fought so hard to become a part of the system that they don't, it's like the Matrix. They don't see no other way. It's like the Matrix, you know. What did Morpheus tell Neo? Was it Morpheus? He said, you know, the people are so helplessly dependent on the system that some of them will actually die for the system. And they will actually kill you for the system. It's going to come to that point. They've done it before. You know, our people have done it before. They didn't like with the words of the prophets. You know, letting the world know that the Lord, his name is not Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai. As you know, if you in Acts, where Paul said, you know, on the road to Damascus, you know, he heard a voice from heaven in the Hebrew tongue. You know, there was no at the time, there was no English speaking at that time. That didn't come till later on down the road. The letter J didn't come over about to the 1500s. All right. They made no account of our labors. And to this day, they make no account of our labors. Even the older women and men. You know, you got men that's in their men and women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that still got to work. And some of them are conditioned. Some of them are just conditioned to constantly keep working. That if they stop working, if they do lose their job, they'll die, or they'll get sick. They'll get really sick. You know, they don't got no actual plan out here for our people. You know, when they get to a certain age. How you going to be 40, 50, 60 years old still out here working? Because the system has failed you. The system has failed you. So by the time you do get a retirement plan, you only got a good, 3 years, 4 years to enjoy your retirement. At that time, you ready to just sit back and just give up the ghost. At that time, you 60, 70 years old, barely walking around limping and everything from all the work you've been doing. And then they want to give you a retirement plan, Social Security, in which you might still end up, how you doing, sir? Which you might still end up croaking. I lost train of thought, sloppy family. Yeah, through unrighteous decrees. The so-called white man has set us up through unrighteous decrees. You know, you do this, then we'll give you that, and then they draw it back, they take it back from you. You know, or for those that go to school, those that go to school, you know, to college and everything like that. How many people come out of college actually investing in the craft they went into college for? You go to college for 2, 4 years, right? You come out and you end up being a garbage man. you end up being working as a manager at Walmart. These are the conditions that the devil has put you in. The wicked, Esau Edom. But this is going to be like we read, you reap what you sow, right? From the blessing that Esau had, from the sword to having everything here in his power, right? How he got it through robbery, thievery. The Lord put him in a trick bag. You reap what you sow. With that, I want to go into Revelation chapter 13. I'm going to go to verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, that they will be recompensed. They will be recompensed. They will get the reward that they put out. They're going, Esau, Edom, and the other heathen nations are going into slavery, captivity. Pursuing Psalms 83, when they had put us in captivity. It's only right. It's only right. Because they pick up the book. They picked up the book and they used it, right? That's when they thought that the Lord was one of them, right? They picked up the book. But here go a law. Here go a law that they should have considered. Exodus chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And what happened during the slave trade? They stole us from off the west coast of Africa. They stole us from over here, the northern kingdom. They stole the so-called Native American Indians and the Latinos and took them over there to Spain. And they sold them. They took us from the west coast of Africa and brought us over here, and they sold us on auctioning blocks. They separated our families, right? They'll sell the husband to one plantation and then the wife to another plantation. With these laws that go into that, a man is supposed to leave, or he has an option to leave the plantation after 7 years. But if he have any children there, if he made any children while he was there with another slave woman that was there, he couldn't take them. They weren't his property. He will leave freely by himself, but he couldn't take them with him. All right. But what he would have to do if he wanted to stay with his family, he'll have to still continue to serve as a slave to the slave master. Let me see if I get it. I don't just want to ramble. Let me get it. I don't just be, roughly paraphrasing.
Yes, I am.
So you done? You good? You want to talk?
Exodus chapter 21. And I'm gonna start at verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. All right? That's supposed to be protocol. Did they do that? Do unrighteous decrees? No. They made stipulations to make it hard for us, even after slavery, the so-called emancipation of so-called Negroes. They came up with the doctrine of the 13th Amendment, creating little snippets of laws that can be broken to put people and to put the children of Israel in slavery again. Right? Let me jump down to verse 3. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. Okay? That's if they came in together. But what did they do? They separated us. They sent the husband to one plantation and the wife to another plantation, and the children to different kind of plantations. It's similar to Margaret Singer, you know, how they divided up the house if the parent so-called wasn't fit enough. All right? Same wicked ass people. All right, verse 4. If his master gave him a wife, and he have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. You see that? That's wicked as shit. Even though your seed, those your children, right? Now you can go, bye. You can leave. You have freedom to leave and go do whatever, but this is my property. That's how you know women and children are a possession of the men. It's not the other way around, how this world is ran. Okay? Pisses you off after a while, man. You know? Oppression makes a wise man mad. You really see what they did to our people with their unrighteous decrees. You can read down more, it'll tell you more about, you know, the servant, you know, and the laws and the rules that pertain to Israel, to the Hebrews. Once again, Exodus chapter 21. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. That's the point. That's the point. Going back to Revelations, you know, that whoever lead into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. There's also a precept that go back into the land, the land. Whoever spills blood upon the land, the blood will not be cleansed except by the blood of the man that caused the blood. So, roughly paraphrasing, Slaki was from a studman. You know? So, you know, all these rules, all these regulations, with his pride, he cast the Lord behind him. He cast the word of the Lord behind him, like a lot of our people. Not understanding, like the great doctrine. You know, these are things that happen just in case. The Lord put laws and commandments in place in case things happen, because they weren't supposed to happen in the beginning. You know, like the great doctrine. If a man take a woman, which means, you know, force herself on her to have sex, and she don't cry, then she want it. In that case, if she doesn't have another man, or she doesn't have a husband, then that's cool. That's all right. But if she does have a husband, and they be found, you know, her and the adulterer, they be found, she'll also be called an adulteress, and they're going to be stoned to death. But if a man take a woman that is another man's, you know, and she cry out no, you know, that's great. You know, and that's unlawful. Once you cry out no, and you still take it, then you're subject to death. But she'll be saved. She'll be rescued. Right? To the wicked, Esau, Edom. Psalm chapter 50, verse 16. They don't understand the laws of the Lord. They could care less, right? But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? Okay? Since y'all took the words covenant in his mouth, y'all claim y'all are the people. But y'all steady, y'all couldn't even do it righteously. Y'all are vessels fitted for destruction, for wrath. You couldn't do it righteously. And that's why the Lord's going to do away with them.
Right, that shit was fast, guys. Thank you. Perfect. At least you're getting faster at it. Fuck. That's still good. I don't give a fuck. They just didn't want you in there. I don't care. Good. And God's plain work, and I got out there faster than you ever.
I'm about to run out in a minute, family.
Oh, that's fucking my phone. And then fix it later. You're pissing me off right now. Well, it's some music.
Yep. Psalm 2 and 8.
Navy, Air Force, I'll kill it.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thy inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. And that's coming back. We had that during the time of Solomon. You know, after the rule of King David, setting up garrisons in the land of Edom, like how they do right now, setting up their embassies and their military bases in different parts of the countries out here. Who do you think they got it from? They got it from their brother, you know, Israel, Jacob, being the former of all things. That Esau, Edom, that man don't do nothing but steal ideas and patent as his own. Once again, through unrighteous decrees. And how many of these singers, you know, these singers go out there and I was watching something the other day. This singer was exposing the industry, saying how they go out and they do all the work. It was a famous singer way back. They go out and they do all the work, but they get pennies on the dollar. While the companies are getting, you know, I forget the percentage, you know, but it's a higher percentage than a penny on a dollar. You know, but you out there busting your ass doing all your work, it's like little children. You know, doing all the work, being exposed to all the light and the dangers of being an entertainer, right? These people get paid buku bucks that control the music industry and entertainment industry, the sports arenas, and our people sit up there and settle for pennies on the dollar. But it's gonna flip around. The Lord gonna give them to the hopeful elect of Israel as servants. Let's go to Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captive, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So Esau, Edom, your time is coming. You know? You're reaping what you sow. What y'all call it? What go around, come around? Well, it's coming back around. The carousel is coming back around. And you ain't got no choice but to be on the ride.
At least you'll know.
Even if you die today, you'll be back. You'll be back as slaves in the kingdom.
All right, man, take it easy.
And you ain't going nowhere. You're gonna work everything out for 1,000 years. But then after those 1,000 years, the heathen nations, they're gonna see, like, damn, man, we sat there and we fought against these people all this time, but this is the benefits of it. We could have been living like this way back. Way back. You know? Instead of concrete floors, gold. Kingdom gonna be laid out. The kingdom is gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be here on earth. It's not gonna be in the sky. It's not a dream. The kingdom is going to be here on earth. How's it going to be in the sky? Put it. Let's listen again. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for service and handmaids. You can't put no doggone You got a question, sir? No? All right. You can't put no chains on no doggone on spirits. A spirit is energy. You know? You shall service and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Okay? So even now, if you got a social security number, you're a slave. That's your prison number. That's your prison number. They might tell you that you're John so-and-so, that you're Billy Bob so-and-so. They might tell you that you're Catherine so-and-so. But you can't buy, sell, you can't get a job. Well, you can buy and sell things now, but you can't get a job, you can't get a car, you can't get a house without letting them know your reference number, your social security number. You are a slave. And the time is gonna come when MOTB, where people are gonna be hit with a decision of who they really trust and believe in, Egypt or the Lord. You have a choice to make. I think that's it, man. I'm almost at an hour. It's almost 4 o'clock. I went over in much time, but the body, how about Shema shot? You know? I'm gonna close out on that note. You know? That yes, you reap what you sow. Esau Edom the wicked, so-called white man, has deceived the whole world. And he has deceived the whole world. Again, he has deceived the whole world, and through robbery, through murder, through the weapon, through the sword, and and none righteous, no matter the favor the Lord has given this wicked man, he cannot change from who he is. That's who he is. He's ordained to be wicked, and destroyed. But the Lord is going to reverse everything that he's done. Is going to be done back on him, but it's going to be done in righteousness. With that, I'm going to close out. Again, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone. Till next time, to hopefully elect Israel, Shalom. May the blessing of election be upon your home. Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Abba Babal.